Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Alex again. This time coming to you with something a little bit different. The thing that I hate about the game state right now in Yu-Gi-Oh. Alright, now, this is something I've been thinking about for a while, so it's not like I didn't put any thought into this. I don't like combos that make themselves. And I don't like when you don't have to invest anything in order to get insane advantage. Like, for instance, Undyne. You pitch one Mermail to the graveyard, get a +1, and then get a +2. It's a +2 for a normal summon, and it's silly. Like, what are you gonna do against a +2 on the first summon? Or, like, it drives me crazy. Like, back in the old day with Quick Draw, yeah, the deck was phenomenally better than everything else at the time, because you could just nuke everybody's stuff. But there were drawbacks. Like, you actually had to invest cards. If your monster got bottomless when you brought it out, you're like, oh no, well, I guess I'm dead. Or like, I don't like decks that produce insane card advantage that are so consistent. Like, it's so easy to top deck a wind-up rat and a wind-up magician because you have the stupid field spell to search it, or not the field spell, but you know what I mean. This guy right here to search it with this stupid thing, and it gives you a +1 every turn. Actually, let's put that in there too, because you gain a +1 every turn, your turn and your opponent's turn, and then by the end of turn 2, you already have your setup. It's so ridiculous. Like, you have your setup to gain insane advantage. And, like, Grapha, it comes back every turn. There's nothing you can do about it once it starts to get onto the field. Like, they'll just keep summoning their guy and keep bringing him back out. It's stupid. And, you know, there's just so many of these cards in the game right now. These are just the primary ones. But, I mean, come on. Rescue Rabbit gives you a +1. At the very least, gives you 2 19 beaters for nothing. I mean, broken. And it gives you 2 19 beaters that you can use to make one of those Ver guys, or you can use to make, like, Rabbit. And, you know, Dark Hole and Torrential Tribute at 2, too much insane advantage. Like, it's just so frustrating to me. Zen mains, while we're on the topic of wind-up related cards, it's a +1 and you don't do anything for it. So it's a +2 because you summon your stupid tour guide, which, even though I play them, I think that they need to go away. They're hurting the game. You summon the tour guide, you bring out another tour guide, you overlay for Zen mains, and then they lose 2 of their cards, unless they can wipe it out in 1 turn, which, you know, they never can, because you have 4 back row sitting on it, or something stupid like that. You know, and the game punishes you for investing cards nowadays. If you're not playing a deck that doesn't invest a lot of card advantage, it hurts you so bad. Like, I want to make a deck that I can actually have to, like, go in a little bit in order to get my play. again, I'll mention Quick Draw because I think it's a perfect example of how much investment you should have to make in order to make plays. And there's so many cards in the game state right now that really hinder that. I just I don't know what needs to be fixed, but it's relatively new. It's like ever since Tengu Plants, we've just had busted decks coming out over and over, and they're like really, really unfair busted decks because decks where you don't have to invest anything at all. Nothing. Nothing at all in order to gain your advantage. Maybe you take a -1 at worst, but then you gain like a +4 right away. And if your opponent can't respond, well, then what are you going to do? Nothing. Yeah. There are too many cards in the game state right now that would need to change in order to hinder this that I really don't think it can be done. I mean, they would have to put so many cards on the ban list in order to revive the investment of like in order to make a destroyer back in the day, before Hyper Librarian, which again, also a pretty stupid card. I mean, it was never balanced from the start. But Hyper Librarian was just kind of like the envoy into all of these new bullshit cards here. Because, like, if this card here, this Wind Up Factory, was released back in the Synchro era, it would have been so overpowered. I mean, yeah, and there's more of these decks coming out. Like the Fire Kings produce a lot of advantage for nothing. The Fire Fists, I actually think, are a pretty balanced archetype because even though they're gaining a +1 like every turn, they still have their drawbacks. And like, I can't play competitive anymore with decks that I like to play. Because honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't really like the black cards. Konami made them too much stronger than Synchros. Like, I mean, the reason people stop playing Synchros is simply because of the fact that the new effects are so much better comparatively. Like, you don't need to put tuners onto the field anymore. And that's where I think that Synchro Monsters fall short. Because, they just don't live up anymore. And, that's a topic for another video, but I just wish that we still had to invest card advantage to produce, like, wins. It used to, take a little bit of work and a little bit of grind in order to get to the point where you could maybe synchro summon for an 8. Or, at least with the Tengu plant format, you actually had to synchro to gain your card advantage. Now you're just all like, well, I guess I'm just gonna make a carrier and then special summon somebody for free, and then special somebody else for free, and then use those guys to get more card advantage and produce more free cards. And it's just silly. Like, leave your comments about this down below. Tell me how you think you could fix the game state. What could be done. Like, this is my only gripe with this format. Like, I like the diversity of the format, and I'm enjoying it thoroughly, but I just don't like this aspect of the game state. And it's probably the biggest issue in my mind about the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, well, leave your comments down below. I hope to hear from you guys soon. Preferably, comment a lot and rate, comment, subscribe. Bye!